AGM, and I just to make sure that we're able to hear everything that is happening during the AGM, I would mute all participants. I hope that's okay with everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Achal. Thank you.
Okay. Vishalji, can I request you to declare the meeting open and welcome everybody?
Yes. Thank you, Anchal. And thank you everybody for joining in today. A special thanks to Ilangovan sir from South India, from Rakesh sir, who was actually accorded the D-Lit from South India, and all the GB members and the members here today. Thank you everybody for joining in. And before I hand over the mic to Anchal to begin the proceedings, I just wanted to remember one of our friends whom we lost to COVID a month ago, Puneet Khanna, and just to basically bless his family in his absence. And I hope everybody else stays safe. And I hope we get to see each other very, very soon. And after the vaccination is launched tomorrow. And that's it. And thank you again, everybody, for joining in. Anchal, please. Thank you. You may take over.
So before we move on to our agenda points, I would also like to call upon Rakeshji to say a few words. He's been very instrumental despite this entire COVID scenario in organizing virtual shows. Rakeshji, may I request you to just share briefly what your plans are now?
Okay, friends, first of all, let me wish all of you Happy New Year. Vishalji rightly said that now post-COVID there will be more physical activities, but this is the fourth AGM of the BA. And I can say in a very short time, BA has been able to really take a complete shape of the organization. By now, the organization is fully developed and matured, and people have already understood about, particularly as office bearers, have understood about their responsibilities, roles very clearly. BA has also spelled out each and every activities and their role defined to each of the office bearers, and everybody is totally engaged and involved. That is the beauty of the new organization. Really, I'm very much satisfied the way you are doing, collectively you are doing, and together you are doing. And that is the one which is required in any organization, particularly our all senior members, the founder members, and Mr. Vishal Dhingra, President, and Anchal. Both deserve a lot of commendation because they are almost full-time. They work, not only they work during the meeting, they show themselves during the meeting, but off the meeting also they try to touch upon the people. They try to discuss the issues off the record too. So thanks to all of you for allowing me to speak today. Thank you very much and keep it up. That's all. Your team is wonderful. Vishal ji, Vishal Narayan ji, Khanna ji, everybody, Rohini ji, Tanya ji, Mahesh ji, everybody, all of you are doing very well. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Rakeshji. And really, it means a lot to us for us to hear that we've matured already. 3 years was, I would say, a short time, but yes, we have gone through leaps and bounds in terms of learning. Wouldn't have been able to do this without your presence and support, as the way you guide us through each and every problem that we come across, and the beautiful way in which you help us find solutions to those problems. And definitely to our veterans like Rohini ji and like Christine and Elango, who fully support our journey and show us the way every time there is something new that comes up which we've not already encountered. So I must thank all our senior members for being here today. And with that, I would just take the members through a very brief profile since we had our last AGM just a few months back. I'm not going to take too much of time, but just very quickly take you through what we've done additionally from June till date. So I'll be sharing a short presentation with you on that. So essentially, in terms of what BA has done, this is the current governing body of BA, as you would all know. And with the latest edition of just our esteemed member, Mr. Ilangovan from ABAT, who is the chairman of uh, Association of Buying Agents of Textiles in South of India. Our presence have definitely grown despite the COVID scenario with a very active membership team who has been working very proactively towards growing more members. And today, from the meager few of 30 members, we are on 240 plus memberships as on date. The few points on which we've been constantly working and striving are going to be representations to government, in which GST has taken the biggest chunk of our bandwidth. And then we have all the other representations that we have done to the government in terms of Ministry of Textiles, whereby we asked them for help on emerging opportunities that India was getting. With SEPC, we've had various interaction, especially with regards to the SEIS problems. We've had tie-ups with Niti Aayog and other organizations also like FICCI, like PhD CCI, to impart training, to impart knowledge. So there's a lot of things that we've done in this while. In terms of industry tie-ups, as I already said, PhD and FICCI have been two instrumental tie-ups that we've done in the last 6-8 months and have been very, very active at them. In fact, with FICCI, we are starting a new webinar series of interaction and knowledge where we are helping manufacturers learn and enter into the export trade. So that's a new for us. And that's a knowledge that we're sharing with the local industry to help them uplift themselves into export. Our outreach with the EPCs continue with our active interaction with all the EPCs, definitely starting with EPCH and SEPC and extending to all other EPCs who we've been very active with. Our associations still continue to be very active with us in times of needs during COVID and beyond, whereby we've shown that we are still together and working for each other. In terms of industry connections, we still have the same industry connections, added a few more like the FICCI CSMSME, and I've already briefed regarding that. In terms of events, these are the various virtual events we have done this year, all thanks to the Trade Fair team and Michael, who has been handling all of these. In terms of social events, we have taken up a lot of bandwidth. Just one sec, please. We've taken up a lot of bandwidth in terms of sharing the journey of our members with each other and starting the Share Your Journey series, which has been very successful, and new members are coming up to share their information and knowledge with us. Then various webinars and discussions in this COVID scenario, which have all happened virtually with EPCH, with CEPC, with SEPC, and all other government bodies and associations that we've been doing. Along with that, we're constantly striving to work on giving more and more benefits to our members. One of the things that we are currently working on is the website, whereby members are going to get their own login passwords to take things and discussions forward with BAA and get updated on the news more frequently. We launched our newsletter this year, which has been very well received by the member community and shares with them the knowledge, information, events of BA every month. We're definitely looking forward to forging more connections with our members this year and taking things through to the next level, whereby more and more members become a part of our actively working community. So as I said, 2021 should be the year when we actually create a new set of people who are ready to take in the reins of BAA. And we would like our members to start being more active and to come and help and share their knowledge, their resources, their connections with us, and help us take things forward with all these platforms that we have created so far. Because as 15 of us, we can just do as much, but with 240 of us together, I'm sure we'll be able to achieve much, much more. So that is all in terms of an update that we've had so far. And we'd probably take up questions later once we have done with our agenda points. I would take up the agendas since we've already floated our agenda earlier. I'm going to ask Avi to put up her the detailed notes on the agenda so that you could review. The first point on the agenda is the minutes of the third annual general meeting, which was held on 19th of June, which needs to be ratified by the general body. I would request one member of the body to raise their hands as a proposer, and one member, Sam, has raised his hand for the proposer, and I would like one member to raise their hand as a seconder. Can somebody second the motion, please? Thank you, Sanjeev ji. I would put your name as the person seconding the motion. Thank you. Going forward to agenda number 2, it is proposed that the action taken report of the third annual general meeting held on 19th June be ratified by the members of the general body. Nitin ji and Manoj, thank you for proposing and seconding the motion. Going to the third point on the agenda, it is proposed to ratify the new changes in the articles of association by the members of the general body. I would request a member to propose and a member to second the motion, please. Sam is proposing the motion. And I would request one member, and Manoj is seconding the motion. Thank you. I would also like to quickly review the changes of the articles. What we've done is to give greater autonomy to the association to be able to work. One of the biggest changes we've done during this motion is to get all the members under one category of membership, whereby we will only have 2 categories going forward, a members category and the category of associate. All the details have been appended in the revised articles, which were sent over to the members, and we'll be floating formal information once this is ratified to all the members formally as well. So we will keep you informed on all the membership changes that has happened in the articles. Going forward to the 4th point on the agenda for the financial matters, it is proposed to receive, consider, and adopt the annual report and the audited statement of accounts for the year 2019 and 20. May I request a member to raise their hands to propose the motion? Sanjay ji, thank you. And a member to second the motion, please. Sam, thank you. Going forward to the 5th point on the agenda, to consider and sanction the budget estimated for the ensuing year, I would request our treasurer, Mr. Khurana, Sanjay ji, if you could share the budget, and thank you. So this is the budget for 2021-22. Sanjay ji, would you take this forward, please?
Good afternoon. We have, during the time of COVID, we have just estimated some expenses for the shows and marketing, but otherwise we have, as we have consolidated the members categories, we have added their revenue in one head, which is second point, which is full year annual member category. We have consolidated for other categories which we were using and adding on. So we made one category, and rest, it's this kind of same which was earlier. The only difference it will have this year is that earlier the FDRs which we had were not on the annual renewal, like we were not getting the interest on them, but now we'll start getting the interest on them because we got them auto renewed. So we'll have income from there. Rest it's we can see on the income heads we have just like more of marketing and on the expenses side we have salaries and traveling. And I have spoken to Sanjeev and Michael. According to them, because they don't know about the COVID situation, it might be they might be having some events or it might not happen. They don't know. So we just kept a provision for certain expenses. So it's like a proposed budget, which I would say is what we have made. So if somebody has some point, we can definitely address on.
Thank you, Sanjay. In fact, I must say, Sanjay has done a lot of work ever since he joined office in June this year, and there's a lot of activity happening on the member side, which has entailed a lot of pressure on our treasurer this year. But yes, we finally managed to sort everything out, and information as and when required to individual members will be floated. I would request two members, one to propose and one to second the motion. Manoj has proposed the motion. Can I have a member second the motion, please, to adopt the budget? Deepak. Thank you, Deepak. I will put your name for the second. Going forward to point number 6 in the agenda, it is to consider and adopt the appointment of the auditors for the ensuing year and fixing their remuneration as recommended by the governing body. Ankit Vipin and co represented by Mr. Ankit has been our auditors for the last few years, and we've decided to go forward with them as auditors this year as well. So requesting people, two members to propose and second the motion. I see Sam and Sanjay proposing and seconding the motion. Thank you. Thank you both. With this, the agenda points as listed on the formal agenda meeting are over. And if there is any other discussion or any other question that the members would like to ask, the floor is open to questions now, please. Any questions from any members that you'd like to ask out of BAA or any of the GB members herein? I'm going to now request the committee members. Monita ji, would you like to speak something? You'll have to unmute yourself, Monita ji. You have a button. Yes, you can speak.
Okay. I was saying this is the first meeting I'm attending,
Right.
and half of it went over my head. And besides, when you were talking about being in the motion or saying yes or saying something, my video was muted, my voice was muted. I didn't know what to do. But besides that, whatever your points on the agenda were are not very clear to me. I don't know if that sounds a little stupid, but I could not pick up so fast everything.
Monita ji, we have sent over an email with the complete details of the agenda and their relevant annexures. So were you able to review them?
No, I didn't even see them. I'm sorry.
That's probably the reason.
I didn't check my mail.
No worries. I'll connect with you.
Okay, I'll
Particular question you have on any of the agenda points, and let me know, and we'll address that for you.
No, I don't have any questions. I don't have any questions, but I'll go through the mail. I'm sorry. This is my fault.
Not at all. It happens all the time. Doesn't matter. I'm happy you at least bring it down. Perfect.
I don't check my mail so often. That's the problem.
No worries. No worries. In future, I mean, we generally also put things on the WhatsApp group. So I hope you're a part of the WhatsApp group with us.
Yes, I am.
Perfect. Perfect. So we will make sure that in future, if you don't get it, you can just let Abhi know and she can WhatsApp you whatever you need.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else who has any questions in terms of anything to do with BAA? Okay, I'm now in.
Uncle,
Hanji.
hi, Ilango here.
Yes.
I think can we? I think
Sir.
should we brainstorm this GST? Do you have any update on that?
In fact, on the GST, Hanji Vishalji, go ahead.
Then go ahead, you go ahead, then I'll update him.
Okay, so owing to COVID, Ilango, there's not really a lot of movement that has happened on GST because apparently the government coffers are so nil right now in terms of the balances. They're definitely not doing anything to shell out more than take more. So although we have been in touch with different people at different points in time, even during this COVID scenario, and we've sent in regular reminders to them, yet there has been little movement as of now. And because the limited mobility, people are not really responding as quickly as they used to earlier when we would actually go to the offices and speak with them. So that's been one of the challenges, which is strictly COVID prone. Vishalji, would you like to add anything on the GST bill?
Yeah, Ilango sir, we were able to meet with the Commerce Minister, Piyush Goyal ji. We were able to update him on the issues. We had in writing all the commendation letters, I would say, from Rakesh ji's office, which is EPCH's office, and everybody else, even from the SCPC, that the business was being heard because the agents were being basically taxed the GST. And eventually we were exporting taxes out of the country because we were claiming the GST from the overseas customers also. And who did not pay, we eventually had to cut down on our commission or pay from our own pockets. If I was charging 5%, I was eventually raising 4+1 instead of raising 5+ the 18%. So he is actually seized of the situation. I am seeing them again on the 21st of this month. And we also made a representation again to the additional secretary and the secretary whom I met again like 2 weeks ago. So we are fully on the job. I'm not saying we would get credit for it, like it would be waived off. No, it cannot be waived off. They won't waive it off. They may bring it us. We have changed our tax now. Instead of saying 18%, please take it away, we are saying, why don't you bring us down to the 5% bracket? Because nobody will ever waive it off. And no minister or no IAS officer basically wants to face the flak by waiving it off for you or for me. So we have now changed it, and we are saying, okay, now please bring it in the 5% bracket. So I've had 2 meetings in the past 1 month.
Okay, thank you, Vishal, for that update.
Right, sir.
I'd like to now invite few of our committee members to give an update on what they're doing and what they plan to do for the next year. Starting with Michael from the Trade Fair team. Michael, you'd have to unmute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Achal. Good evening, everyone. I was expecting a big number here, but anyways, as you know that during this COVID, we all were, locked in our room only. So, but we still manage. Members we take them out for the virtual shows. We managed to do about 10 virtual shows since June. And it's been in both the categories, hard goods, furniture, and textile and everything. And probably we'll have about three more shows coming, virtual show as of now, which is in the pipeline, which we are going to share the details with our members very soon, as soon as everything is finalized. So that's all we have. I had a very long list last time. When we travel, we could have shared more experience, and the members could complain about me or can say some word about me. But this time, everything was open. The only request I would like to make with all our members that please come forward and join the different committees. Right now, we are 13 members, GB members here. And we are not going to be here for a long time. So my request to everyone to please join the different committees. So tomorrow you can, if you become the part of the GB, it will be easy for you guys to understand how we are working. So my request to everyone to join, and different committees.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. I would definitely second Michael's thought, as I said earlier also. We definitely need more people. We need more hands, more feet, more brains, everything more at BA. So it'll be lovely. And we know we have so much of rich experience. We really need to encash upon the experience of each of our members. From far, it may be looking like a tedious job to do when handling BA. But trust me, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of activity, and there's a lot of kudos also that comes with it. So come be a part of a very active community. I mean, the 13 members are super active. We want it to grow from 13 to 20 to 200. So please come and be a part and actively participate in our meetings, in creating companies. If there are ideas that you have that you would like BA to take forward, initiate those ideas with us. Let us together take those ideas forward. We are not close to anything which is for the benefit of this community. So please come forward. Going forward now, I would request Rohini from the knowledge team, Rohini ji and Nitin, to share their plans and their work so far. Rohini ji, you'd have to unmute yourself.
I'd like Nitin to show his face and be part of this conversation with me. Otherwise, I always say he's AWL. Thank you so much, Achal and Vishal, for guiding us through this period, and thank you, Christine, for kicking off the in COVID webinars that we've been having in the knowledge team. Creating bridges with several industry heads like TextProCell, including SEPC, and PPE kits, and I don't know how many webinars. I've lost count of them because I think we were doing about 3 a month, which was quite a hectic period for us. In fact, I think BAA came out with flying colors right through from March till the end of 2020 in terms of knowledge sharing, understanding what's happening in the business, and trying to resolve so many issues. So a lot of knowledge was shared. A lot of a network was created with several associations, like, as I mentioned, TextProCell. And going forward now, we've seen that there is a certain amount of burnout in terms of Zoom webinars. However, we are trying to get more focused, and as Chair has already started working on the FICCI webinars, so we are going to pull in our weight in those webinars for knowledge. We're also going to be requesting Abhat, as Elango is here, and I shall put it in this AGM on record, that we would like him to set up a team for the South amongst his members, so that we can start knowledge sharing and disseminating information from the buying agents. And I think that is going to be one of our key thrust areas going forward, as I think we've been missing the South in many ways, except for working with AEPC because of Mr. Shaktivel. And that's the smile is not enough, Elango. I'm going to be on the job with you on this.
So Rohini will definitely do it, because
Yes.
2020 has been a really downer, with all these issues. And
Exactly.
all the agents have been very busy with the issues with the buyers and things like that. And hopefully 2021, they should have their minds free.
Right.
To discuss things, okay? And take it forward, yeah.
I would like you to appoint someone to partner with us on the knowledge area, because in the knowledge area, we've also initiated a social initiative program where wherever we are doing webinars, we are trying to see where we can be socially active in the business, either in textiles or crafts, or supporting hospitals around our craft areas, like we did with the PPE kits. And Sam and Tanya distributed the PPE kits post our webinar on PPE. So I would like some kind of initiatives like that, which is knowledge as well as social initiative programs in the South. So please appoint someone at Abhat to be working with us closely on this, because I'd like to take this off ASAP on Pongal.
Okay.
All right.
We will do it.
Pardon?
So we will do it in this new year. So I'll
Yes,
discuss with the team.
exactly. Exactly. We also partnered with Apparel Online for their online platforms for knowledge sharing and taking the buying agents forwards and giving them a larger platform in terms of networking. So I think that was a very good initiative. I'm still waiting to see what is the result on the Apparel Online program. But yes, in terms of skill development, which we partnered with HEPC, Handloom Export Promotion Council, and Craft Council with Mr. Praladka, we'd like to take these forward. And we'd also like suggestions for this, because I think the social initiative with knowledge and skill development makes a very nice basket for us to be able to go forward with carrying this business. So South is my target. And I would like to have some members who are working closely with the East to get in touch with us so that we can partner on some knowledge sharing, as some of the sustainable items being manufactured there in the craft as well as textile areas could be of great interest to the customers going forward in post-COVID area. So I would like to set up, we've been talking with a few agents, but we'd like to have some more come up who are closely involved with the eastern part of India to build that area, the buying agents working over there. So with South, I have you, Abhat and Alango. But in the East, I need and I look forward to having members come up with some ideas and to make a separate team for that, to be able to take forward the skill development, social initiative programs, and dissemination of information of what is available for us with the buyers, because the platforms that are available to us, which Michael has been working on and Sanjeev also in the past, need some exposure. So we'd like to have some kind of venture on these. We'd like to work on these ventures. So going forward, this is what has been in my mind. We put together some seeds and plants on that area, but we'd like some members to come up with working in the East area also to develop those areas. And it's been a pretty good innings to be with BA. And I'm happy to be part of this great team that works extremely well and extremely kindly and in a very compassionate manner. Thank you so much, everybody, for having me here and hearing me out. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Rohini, can I have a word, Anshul?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, sure. Since you mentioned about East, right? Actually, there are not many agency offices in the East. I mean, in Calcutta, I mean. But when you go to Dhaka, there are a lot of Indians sitting there in this profession. So I'm sure that we are not confined to India. We don't call ourselves as BA India, right?
No.
So I see a lot of Delhi boys sitting there in Dhaka. Sure. So I think we can even
actually, now that you mention it, you're right, Lango. I think that Sanjeev or Michael was working on a joint venture with the Buying Agent Association in Dhaka. Maybe Achal can give us an update on that. Sanjeev, and we can take it forward in that area. Definitely. I'd like to have an update on that, Achal. Thank you. A good one, Elango.
Thanks, Rohini.
Elango, you're right. In fact, not only Dhaka, we are also talking to people in Vietnam and Malaysia and trying to bring on board this association as not only a pan-India association, but as a pan-Asia association. So the efforts are there and we're definitely doing things in the right direction. And if there are members who can join hands together to promote this cause of making BA as not just an association of India, but taking it abroad and leveraging on our collective bargaining power of the East Asia, it would be a great effort for us to begin with and to carry forward. So I'll definitely loop you in on the Dhaka bit. We don't have Sanjeev with us today, who was spearheading that bit, but we'll definitely loop you in on this one.
Sure, we are setting up an office there in Dhaka.
Perfect.
So I'll also apply my mind to that. Thanks.
That'll be lovely. That'll be lovely.
Thank you, Elango.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
So unfortunately, Sam is unable to join back into the meeting for some reason. Otherwise, he would have given an update on the PR bit that we're doing as we're entering into more tie-ups in the coming year. And Manoj could not stay for long because of health issues back at home. So he had to take his leave early. But as I updated on his end, the website is underway. I do believe in the next 30 days to 45 days, you would see the first cut of the new website, or probably the beta phase of the new website being launched, where each individual member may get a login. So we'll keep you informed. And if there's anything in the meanwhile that we can help you with, we will always ask our members to come forward and let us know, and let us take it forward for them. For now, that is it from our side. If there's anything else that any of the members would like to ask us, then please feel free to ask us right now.
I'd like Nitin Aanchal to talk about.
Sure, absolutely. I requested both of you.
You also
Yeah.
requested him.
I didn't, sorry, I was offline for a minute.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
Yeah,
So Nitinji, plans for 2021-22.
I think Rohini ji has summed up everything, and I agree with her. And whatever sign-ups we have with various organizations, we should
Yeah.
pursue and make them more effective and more we should spread it further.
Right.
I totally agree with Rohini ji there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, there is another tie-up we've had, which Christine, if she's available, she'd like to talk about. We are tying up with FICCI on the furniture bit, as the government has declared furniture as a champion sector that they're championing in this particular year. And Christine's been actively involved with FICCI in bringing that up. Christine, are you currently online on the meeting?
I see her online.
She is, but
She's in a car actually driving back to Delhi, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. So she'll help us with an update offline, and she would tell more about this. In fact, there is a virtual show that is coming up with FICCI, and we'd like our members to participate in that, to promote that to the vendors, to the buyers, and take it forward. So anything else from any of our members, or shall we consider the meeting closed? Hanji Vishal Narayan.
No, so I just want to bring up a point here about, because we are all going to be online all the time,
Right.
and all our activities are going to be online. I think we should do a bit more about put a lot of thought into security, because I don't know whether you guys have heard, this big journalist called Nidhi Rajdana. All of you must have heard about her. She got spoofed so badly. She left her job at NDTV to go and join Harvard, and only to find out that Harvard had never offered her a job at all.
Really?
So yeah, it is weird, and it's all on her Twitter feed. So you can have a look at her Twitter feed and see for yourself. She left her job, she applied for a visa, she got a job visa, everything, and she was about to go there only to find out that Harvard told her that they never offered her a job in the first place. So what's happening out there is crazy beyond words.
No, I do believe EPCH also recently floated an email about cyber frauds that have been happening.
Yeah. So we need to be, I'm just saying that we should just also put our mind a little bit to online security, and because we are going to be online in everything. So just, I don't know how we'll do it, but maybe we should just discuss this a little bit more.
Sure.
That's a very good idea, Vishal. I think even platforms that we are all using for banking, Paytm, etc.
Yeah.
I think some kind of knowledge session can be organized on this.
So these guys, whoever was doing this with this journalist, they got access to all her information through her social profiles, everything, and she was working on this for several months, 7-8 months, and she had no idea that she was being spoofed so badly. Think about it, and she's a senior journalist with all kinds of
Christine has mentioned something.
Right.
Yeah, recently, another cyber fraud happened where, what normally in these cases, what Vishal is saying, what users do, the hacker, they hack into your personal account, mostly a Gmail account,
or Hotmail account, and they see what you are doing. They understand your profile, for whether you're in finance, whether you're in education, wherever. And in between, somewhere they shoot out a mail with changing the domain ID, with adding a S, for example. If the factory name is Raheja Overseas, they'll make it Raheja Overseas, and they'll put in a mail. So you'll feel like it's a continuation of that
Yeah.
discussion. And actually, what is happening that the guy is succeeding in what he wants to do. For example, what is happening in cyber fraud in our trade is that a factory or somebody's personal ID is getting hacked. He's in finance, and when the payment is being processed, there's a mail coming to either
Yeah. Exactly.
and it says that for this payment, please send in the payment to
A certain bank. One of my friends got spoofed like this, and they lost $250,000 payment going to another account.
So
This is
in
a very
these,
classic
what is happening is that company email IDs are secured.
No,
But
no.
problem is that a lot of people forward the mail to the Gmail ID to the and factories are not factories have to be given awareness here that they are not having a secure domain. You can secure your domain also where you can have certification, everything.
Nitinji, we
fac-
had this incident nearly 7 or 8 years back. And ever since then, we've been very watchful. In fact, one of the only ways to control cybercrime is to always authenticate the bank information that is being sent by email through an alternate medium of confirmation. So with all our customers, whenever we are sending any of the supplier details, we send them on email, but one of our team members also sends it over a WhatsApp call or a phone call where we tell them that this is the information we've sent. So they will only enter the information which is cross-confirmed both by email and by WhatsApp or telephone call.
So actual, so you are saying the same thing, and we are all working on the same concerns. Basically, my point was that we should maybe have a module where we educate our members, educate our stakeholders, in this case, vendors and everybody, and educate them on the possibilities of fraud that are possible and the basics things they can put.
So it will be good session for our members.
Yeah.
In fact, also wanted to check with everybody, our members interested in knowing about the trends of 2021. We have this really amazing person called Supreet, who owns this text online magazine on trends called Texilist. And we've touched base with her recently. I don't know how many of you have subscribed to her magazine, but if you look through Texilist, you will see some really, really interesting inputs about trends. So if the members are keen on knowing the trends of 2021, that is also one of the sessions that we think could be interesting as we're just entering 2021 into this new sourcing year. So that's one thing that we'd like to do. We'll definitely like to do the cybercrime and prevention of fraud thing, because this is very important. So let us work towards these two things.
So I can request Anchal you to take over the design thing, and Vishal Narayan Sinha to help us with the fraud. So we can head that committee and probably teach everybody in the group or host a Zoom call.
Absolutely.
Is that okay with both of you?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Anchal,
I have a question from Michael. If
Can
you
you- Anchal, can you hear me?
Yes, Sandhya.
Okay, hi everyone, and lovely to be here. My camera is not on, excuse me for that, got some glitch. Just wanted to add on to the various inputs which were being made by Rohini ji and Ilango and everybody. Wanted to primarily find out if were we connected or on this forum today, do we have anybody from the Texprocil?
As in?
From the Textile Promotion Council?
Yes, we know them very well. We've been in touch with them.
Okay, no, because are we doing anything, Anchal, about the increase of prices of cotton, the pricing of raw material, and this huge, paucity of organic cotton that we are all facing? I'm sure it's affecting all of us who are into textiles. That's my first point. And second point is that as a body, are we interacting with the Ports Association to find out, are we doing anything about the container situation ex Mumbai primarily, ex JNPT?
Hanji Vishalji.
Okay, Sandhya, on the port situation, I'm not talking about the organic cotton part, though I have not interacted, I am not aware. But on
Okay.
the port situation, I met Miss Smita Davra, DPIIT. She is the additional secretary, and we made a representation to her almost a week or like 10 days ago. Yeah, Sumita Davra.
Okay.
I met her. We made her an update on the port situation, the lack of containers, lack of turnaround time is almost 4 weeks by the time the goods reach the US anyways. So we are
Correct.
slow. They have already worked on that. Rakesh ji shared with us on the GB meet, I believe, and even on the members group, that there has been a movement of almost 17,000 empty containers, which they have given to the industry all over India. So
Amazing.
yes, that has happened. We are in constant touch with the DPIIT on that.
Because I'm aware that some of our customers whom we've been discussing, they are giving us, they're saying India is becoming so difficult as a source country that we have to rethink of the big markets that are being placed to India. So invariably, it's going to affect each one of us, whichever material we are working on.
Sandhya,
Yes.
say something here. When we saying that India is the only country that is impacted by this equipment shortage, that is
No.
policy.
All over the world.
In fact, we today are in a much better position, I would say, as compared to China. If I don't know if you were dealing with China, but pricing of containers from China to Europe itself, which would be $3,000 on an average, has gone up as high as $8,000.
True. True.
Yeah.
True.
We are still stuck somewhere in the 4,000s range or 3,000, but they've gone up to $8,000 and they still don't have equipment. It is a problem. In fact, it was one thing that I wanted to discuss, how everybody is dealing with the container situation, because it is still a big mess.
Yeah.
Also, there is an update that containers have been moved by rail to the depots, to the centers. But for some reason, what we're getting to know is that it's not really only the equipment shortage that has a major issue. It is also that the liners in today's date, they are not taking bookings to put the containers on their lines because they're earning 8,000, 9,000 from China versus the 4,500 from India. The preference is to carry the inventory from China and not from India.
Right.
We are in that cat and mouse chase. If we increase the price, the buyers won't buy from us. If we decrease the price or stabilize the price, the liners don't want to carry our goods. So it's a crazy situation. And although I think
actually, Achal, today I'd like to add this because there is a bigger game than the container. If you read the new article, that now China will not be dealing in the dollar, only in the yuan. So there is going to be, it is not going to get easier for us, either containers or whatever. This is an economic warfare going on, and it is going to get tougher. So once it is delinked from the dollar, it's going to affect us also, including our stock markets, including our businesses. So things are not going to get easier. It is going to be an extremely tough year this year in terms of business.
And
Ilango, I can see you wanting to say something. Please go ahead.
No. I just want to say a few words regarding the cotton situation.
Yeah, please.
It's not that we have a shortage of cotton. Cotton is there. But, the policies of CCI has been holding up all the cotton. And, the policies of CCI is not flexible enough for the small spinners to buy cotton from them and give it at affordable prices. This has been strongly taken up by the National Association of Textile Councils, including AAPC, CITI, TexProsil, and all these councils. And they've written a strong letter to the textile minister asking her to review the policies of the CCI, which could only solve the problem. We don't have a shortage of cotton. What is happening is that there's a huge demand because of the Xinjiang cotton ban by the Western countries. And that is going to add fuel to the fire. So, the road forward in 2021 with regarding to the cotton situation is not going to be easy. It's going to be very rough. And as it is, it is the container situation is compounding the problems. And, everything looks pretty negative for the exports, but we are
Yeah,
still
but
finding.
but a plus 18 to 20% in the raw material cotton price. I mean, yeah, that you've explained to me the cause, but I mean, I really don't know how it's going to pan out in the coming, especially this season, because obviously in the raw material is 65% of your cost is your raw material, and if the cotton is being bought by any exporter at 20% more, they are going to have to review their prices upwards, and that is something that on permanent business on big markets, we are playing with 2%, 3%, it's going to be quite very, very tricky year. So I mean, are the associations, is the government really yes, there is no shortage of cotton, but there is a hoarding of cotton which is resulting into all that, correct?
Hoarding of cotton not by the private traders. The hoarding of cotton is by the CCI. And their conditions of sale
correct.
is so difficult, the policies. And so the policies are so difficult that small spinners cannot buy the cotton from them directly. And so the councils are asking the minister to review the policy, selling policy of CCI.
But how soon, Mr. Ilango, do you think that the situation could be starting to look a little bit normal? Are you optimistic?
I think Tirupur is the more cotton-oriented export center, and they are making a lot of noise, including I'm in the APC committee, so I see a lot of members from Delhi also making a lot of noise on this. Not only cotton, I think even polyester, viscose, because of the dumping duty they have imposed on viscose. The local viscose manufacturers have started sort of monopoly, and they've jacked up the prices. So I think we are facing problems on all fronts in the raw material. As far as the raw material is concerned, even the polyester prices have gone up. And what the government should be sane enough to think that the policy should be framed in such a way that the industries down the value chain should benefit, and they bring more exports to the country.
Yeah.
But if they're playing to the hands of these big monopolies and bringing in dumping duties and not controlling the prices, definitely our exports are going to get hit. And if the exports it is going to indirectly cause problems to the employment.
Exactly.
I don't think that. I'm not sure whether the government is aware of it, how it is going to affect the employment down the line.
Well, actually, Lango, this cotton issue has been ongoing for almost about 30 years now, because India because of CCI is controlling the cotton. As compared to Bangladesh, they have no control. It's completely open. What is happening in India is that they are supporting the domestic market over the export market. And this is where the problem is arising. They consider the domestic market, because of the political requirements, more important. But they must understand your point of view in terms of the employment that is happening, which is it's already come down by 30% in our industry. And it is going to come down further if there is no raw material available. So
even more than the domestic use by the domestic and the priority being given by the government there, it's the more priority is being actually given by the government towards export of cotton yarn, which is what is creating the problem. That's a crux.
It's true. The government has never given any priority to exports in India except in the 70s and 80s. After that, there has been no priority.
With metal, it's exactly the same situation for metal also. A price.
So the only consolation we have at the moment is we are not alone in this problem. Even Bangladesh is facing the problem. Today, I was talking to an exporter in Bangladesh. The yarn prices have increased by 40%. He says every day it is going high. So they are also facing the same situation, kind of problem, and because they have to import the cotton from either from China or from India. From China, they cannot import cotton anymore because most of the 80 to 90% of the cotton is from the Xinjiang region, whatever region which the Western countries are going to ban. And they've already started banning it. And the only source is India. And the price of cotton from India is not cheap for them. So in terms of the apparel prices, I think we'll be at par with Bangladesh in this difficult situation. That is the only consolation we have.
Interesting.
Anyway, we are walking on a tightrope, and this is going to be a razor edge year, yeah, for all of us.
We had the corona problem in 2020. We are going to have a cotton problem in 2021.
Yes, and it is going to spill over to 22 because the government is not going to make much changes in this. In the same way with the GST, as Vishal was mentioning, this cotton situation, the discussions have been going on with the government as far back as I remember. But now it becomes imperative because of employment issues. The business is there, and if we can't ship, this is a big issue. The government needs to definitely.
It's not only cotton; it is all man-made fibers also. So I think it is high
in
time
fact,
the
somebody was
government
just mentioning in jute also. So this is across there is too much control benefiting the domestic market and control rather than across the board on any factory. A level playing field is not there here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nothing changes really.
So when are we getting the jab?
I'm never going to take it.
I can give you one right now.
You think that, Vishal, it's a good idea? We may start speaking Chinese or Italian from wherever it's coming from. But I don't think that's a really good idea. I'm more terrified of the jab than the problem that is there in Corona.
See, I'm talking to doctors, even they're very apprehensive about this.
So is it compulsory? Is it going to be compulsory or is it going to be?
No, it is not compulsory. It is obligatory.
Oh, which is just as bad.
I am getting it though, the day it comes.
नहीं मैं ये पूछा था विशाल सर कि when do you think हम लोग की बारी आएगी? फिर पहले तो डॉक्टर्स को लगेगा, फलाने को लगेगा, फिर हमारा बारी कब तक आएगा? 6-7 महीना और?
Easily. Easily. They should give it to the private sector.
Can manage any underhand dealing.
No, that will always happen. That will always happen in our country. Definitely.
Yeah.
चलो दुबई में लगवा लेते हैं.
Anyway, any other thing, any other member, anything on your minds, please speak out. And once we all get the jab, I want everybody back in action physically with me. We need to take the BA to the next level. 8 or 10 people can't keep on working forever. I believe Sanjeev is missing today, right? Sanjeev Jain?
He's not here.
I had a question.
Vishal. Yeah, so he must be making members.
Vishalji, I have a question from Mr. Michael.
Yeah, sure. I believe Michael has actually left the meeting. He just actually messaged me. Yes, he did.
Yeah, I'll talk to him later on.
Please, Sudhir sir. Thank you very much. And I asked you, Sudhir sir, to join me on a committee. You said you were busy for a few weeks. Once you are free, you let me know.
A few weeks, few months. I'll take up in June, probably. Definitely.
We need more people. And we need smarter people to basically keep this whole effort going forward. Because obviously, none of us are there forever. So we need the new generation to join us, learn, and then take over.
Vishal, I've been here forever.
No, but the point is that the sun rises, but that doesn't mean that all the stars are not there.
No, everybody has to give their input into it. Otherwise, how will the organization grow? I'm
You
pulling
will
your
always
leg.
be there.
No, for me, I've been here since I was born, I think. So,
So you are the sun, I am the moon, if you remember that song. Anyway. So thank you again, everybody.
Okay.
Anchal, please keep carrying on.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a nice session. Thank you.
Thank you, Elango sir. Thank you very much. I would personally like to thank right from top to all the members, to Rakesh sir, to OP sir, Elango sir, Rohini ma'am. I believe CR is on the road, but thank you. Thank you, Christine. We learned a lot from her actually. And
I'd like to say thank you to everybody too.
And Monita ma'am, thank you again. We probably, if not catch up in Delhi, we'll probably catch up in Haridwar sometime.
I'm very good at getting official work done, okay? I may
Okay,
not
so
understand
please feel
everything,
free to join
but
us. Feel free.
my Liza work is very good, huh? In case you ever need me to do something for you. I mean,
It will be sooner than
for the
later.
association.
It will be sooner than later
Sorry?
then. It will be sooner than
GST, ma'am, GST.
Right now we only need one work done, that is GST. वो
GST.
किससे मिलना है?
इससे
I
मिलना
think
है
we'll connect with you offline.
Yeah.
पीयूष गोयल जी से.
हाँ.
Mr. Modi.
Mr.
मोदी
Modi.
से मिल लेंगे, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? गेरुआ पहन के चले जाएंगे मोदी से मिलने के लिए.
GST नहीं माफ करता. कोई गेरुआ भी कर लिया. कुछ नहीं.
कम कर देगा.
कम नहीं देंगे वो.
तिलक भी लगा लिया, कुछ नहीं हुआ.
सब कुछ कर लिया.
कम कर देगा, खत्म नहीं करेगा तो.
That's exactly what we are doing now. Instead of saying you please आप इसको खत्म कर दो, we are saying okay